As Sri Lanka embarks on path to overcome economic and financial woes, the country is set to elect the next executive president on the 21st of September. A record 39 candidates are in the race for presidency, with 5 key candidates in the run. With several competing promises and vows being made at election rallies and meetings, a key demographic, the youth, have a key concern. Are these candidates aware of the change that the youth aspire for Sri Lanka? Election Commission statistics show that 17,140,354 voters have registered to cast their ballots at the poll. Around 1 million of those registered electors are first-time voters.
Election is taking place after the Aragalaya. There was a youth uprising 2.5 years back. And now we are running with the interim president. Especially the youth people wanted to have a system change. Now this is the time for making their change, marking their ballot properly, whoever they think to get into power. And also there are around 1 million youth voters are marking their ballot in these elections, because we had a last election in 2019. So we are having these elections after 5 years. So this is very critical for the youth vote. And the youth vote can make difference in these elections. The youth vote can be a changing point. This president, whoever get elected, take their own decisions, it will affect not only the 5 years period, it will affect for the younger generation's future.
Sri Lankan citizens who completed 18 years of age between the 1st of February to the 31st of May 2024 have also been registered as electors.
Youth make up almost quarter of Sri Lanka's population. It is 4.64 million. As Sri Lankans, we are getting ready to cast our vote at the election to be conducted on 21st September 2024. Considering Sri Lankan votes, youth votes are so critical because they are change makers. On 21st of September, we are expecting that almost all the youth will go to polling stations and cast their votes, because they are the people who can think in innovative ways. Comparing with adults, they are the people of our future leaders. They can create future of Sri Lanka.
Considering the importance of securing the decisive youth vote, presidential candidates too have shown great interest in including the aspirations for change in their respective election manifestos. To further understand their stance on the aspirations of the youth, we spoke to young politicians representing several presidential candidates. Our question was what these young politicians aspire for future Sri Lanka.
As a young politician, we're looking for a future in Sri Lanka where the public is no longer reliant on politicians to help them get through their day-to-day lives. We want to make sure that the bureaucracy in the country is running smoothly, that allows for the public to be comfortable and not rely on political interference, which then allows for us as young politicians to be able to look at a macro policy for the region. We need to be in a situation in the future where we are competing with countries in the region. Economically, we need to go towards integration with the region. I think in 15 years, 25 years time, we want to be at a position where Sri Lanka has reached its potential that we have spoken about for so long and be competitive. The most important policy that we have to look at is first preparing the future generations to compete on this evolving global economy that we have.
What we need to understand is that 40% of the population are below the poverty line. It is important that we take care of the marginalized, the poor in this country. The 2024 election is a very decisive election in the history of Sri Lanka. It is about selecting a leader that has the capability and the drive to take Sri Lanka out of this economic debacle that you and I are facing. If you want change, as mentioned in the Aragalaya, system change comes with the team that has the plan to bring that system change. And also the youth of this country must understand that it is not a protest vote. It is not a time for you to go and cast your vote based on your anger. And one also must understand that policies that are put forward, you are not getting a clean slate to implement these policies. You have to make sure that whatever you do, that you understand the economic realities, the sciences in this country.
Future Sri Lanka should be a place where we would like to stay. We need to end corruption for good and establish a good political culture, rule of law, and also get the potential, fullest potential of our resources, making it an economy that thrives in the region. It would be implemented implementing transformative policies in our economy to achieve the potential of Sri Lanka, where the private sector will thrive with great support from the government in technology, education, and other incentives. We would invite foreign direct investments in terms of technology, capital, and market access, and transformation in the education and health sector, and also that we protect the environment, reaching a sustainable levels in the economic growth. So these policies are interconnected, and these policies has been presented today for National People's Power.
As a young politician from Sri Lanka, Podujana Peramana, I want Sri Lanka to be a developed country by 2035. And my personal choice is where young people and their choices are respected, individual rights are respected, their liberty is valued, and most importantly, their dreams can be achieved without any discrimination. In order to achieve that, we have to respect young people of this country as valuable citizens.
The people of Sri Lanka need to be motivated and have a common purpose, a purpose that all of them understand and will be striving towards by their own volition. Sri Lanka as a whole, the government sector and the private sector need to have a clear idea about their macro strategic vision. So Sri Lanka needs to understand that for quite some time they have not been dealt with, or they as a people haven't really understood what the Sri Lankan dream is, and be passionate, be risk-taking enough to pursue that dream. There are policies that I would like to see enacted, and one of the first things there is to have a proper unique authority in the country to look into whether a policy decision has some relevance to all sectors in the country and it's not working in a silo. And secondly, we need to be able to take a clear decision to digitize all of our financial transactions.
Sri Lanka faces this crucial presidential election on the 21st of September 2024, one that will elect the 9th executive president of Sri Lanka. Sri Lankans will go out to vote for the first time to elect the executive president after the country plunged into crisis in 2022. The next president is expected to bring in policies and reforms to shape future Sri Lanka, while also focusing on what is expected from today's youth. I will be speaking to few representatives of the youth to better understand what is really expected of a developed Sri Lanka.
Few key areas for the future youth. One is economic development, education reforms, social equity. This is most important key areas.
I'm a startup founder. I want to private sector capacity to generate income for our country.
We expect from the coming president to do something unique to this country, mainly the taxes and all. Honestly, we don't like to live with this country anymore, so we hope to go abroad.